Alright, hi everybody. Captain Kirk back with you again. Today we are at Tory's Den, access for Hanging Rock State Park. Got a cave and a waterfall down here. It's about 2/10 of a mile down this trail. We're on at Hanging Rock on the northeast section of the park. This section is not in the main park. Have to drive around on the roads outside to get here. Didn't realize the gates don't open here till 7:30 when the main park opens at 7. So keep that in mind if you come to park over here. So this trail system connects over into the main park over near the Moore's Wall Trail. So after we go down and check out the cave, check out the waterfall, I'm gonna head that way. Don't know how far I'll go today. May go all the way to the lookout tower and back. We'll see how it goes. Just waiting on them to get here to open up, and we'll go see what we can see. All right, we're on the little trail headed down here to Tory's Den. I'll give y'all a look. Nice little spot coming down to the creek through the rhododendron. Just came down the hill here. There's a small little cave as you're coming down the path. This is where I come from, down the steps. Small little cave on the left. You get right here to the intersection, and we'll go over here and take a look at the falls, and then we'll ease down the hill here to Tory's Den. Not really a view here, just the waterfall. And, we'll keep easing down here. Be back shortly. There is a little peak out as I'm headed back to that intersection. You can see a lot of fog laying low this morning and mountain range over there in the distance. We are actually on top of where the Tory's Den is, and we're going to go around these steps that wrap around down here below. Not sure how far it is down all these steps, but when I get back up to the parking lot, I'll check the elevation gain on my All Trails app. You can just get an idea. Doesn't go too far back up in there, but that's if you look at it. Parking lot. That was 98 feet of elevation change, so about 100 feet down and about 100 feet back up. A lot of steps. These trails over here are tied to some bike trails and equestrian trails. That log is old, but that was a place for them to tie their horses up. I guess it still can. I've never seen anybody on horseback, but I'm sure there are folks that ride them. They actually, I think, have longer parking places over here. Thank you for a horse trailer. So, the lake parking lot back over in the main park area near the campsites and all is 4 miles. Moore Wall is 2.5 miles. The Reuben Mountain Trail is only 1 mile. And then it's also connect with Sartown Mountain on the Mountains to Sea Trail. Yep. So we're gonna head back toward the lake parking lot, like I say, and maybe up toward the lookout tower. We'll see how it goes. We're gonna head this way. Just a little ways down below the parking lot, getting ready to make the road crossing and heading back south. There is a intersection here with the trail. Back to the parking lot wasn't but 2.2 to R.M. Collins trailhead is 0.2, and this is part of the Sartown Trail Mountains to the Sea. So if we go this way, it's on the Mountains to the Sea Trail. That is not, it's standalone. It's not joining any of the trails in the park. This is where they kind of meet up. And the Mountains to Sea Trail actually comes through here, jumps on the trail that I'm on, goes up to the lookout tower, back down through the park, out by the visitor center and down the Indian Creek Trail and to the road, and then hikes down road walking through Danbury. So all the Mountains to the Sea hikers come through this section of the park right here. Got a little stream crossing here, and we got it set up where you can get down to get water or water your horse. This section is part of the equestrian trails on this side of the park. Seems like they tend to be just a little wider and have a few extra access points there. If you come this direction and park over at Tory's Den, it is, once you're down to this creek crossing on that little bridge, it's all uphill, pretty much all the way, if you're going to the lookout tower, all the way to the top. We're following the blue circle. White circle's Mountains to Sea. All right, we're about 2 miles in. We've been working our way up the ridge. It's a lot of just gradual climbs with switchbacks. Get to the first intersection up in here, and this is the Reuben Mountain Trail. The loop itself is 2.9 miles. It is one of the horse trails or equestrian trails. You can see we got 3 miles to the parking lot, and then we run into the Moore Wall Loop Trail and about another 1.5 miles. And again, it's still following the Mountains to Sea Trail. So if we're going to do the Reuben Mountain Loop, we'd bear off right here, and it doesn't come back to this point actually. It runs back into the trail that I'm on, right at the base of one of the climbs as you kind of going back over the park. So it's one way from there on. But I'll show you that intersection when we get there where the Reuben Mountain Loop comes back in. Moving down the trail, get to one little spot here, and I'm thinking the sun might kill us. But there's one little peephole that you can look through and see up to the lookout tower on Moore Wall. So we'll make a decision when we get to that trail. We'll keep going. All right. So but we're back headed that way. It's really pretty through here. It's kind of a flat, cruisy section. Now that we're sort of up on the ridge, we're way up. All right, we made it to the intersection. If we keep going straight, this is the other end of that Reuben Mountain Trail. And we're going to turn left, keep heading toward the lake and toward the Moore Wall Trail. Again, still on the mountains to the Sea Trail. So we're only about 0.9 back over to the Moore Wall Loop. It's up this way. We got about 200 yards of this gradual climb, and then it gets pretty steep up to the top of the ridge. So be a lot of huffing and puffing. I'll try to get you a few shots of that as we go though. All right, still making the climb. As you can see, it gets pretty rocky, washed out. This is where I just come up from. Probably halfway up the climb, maybe getting close to, I don't know, 2/3. Not a whole lot further. It's a good spot at the top. Take a break. So let's keep on moving. Here at the top of the ridge, this is the direction we're headed in. We're actually facing the Cook's Wall, but the leaves is on the trees and you can't quite see over there. So when the leaves are gone, you got a good view in both directions. As we swing around, there's some big rock formations. This is where we just came up the climb, and there's some other rocks over here. If you stop, sit down, take a break, it's a blow down tree over there. It's a good spot to sit sometimes. So we're on the ridge, and in this direction, if we followed the ridge, we end up at the lookout tower. But the trail goes back down the hill a little ways, ties into the Moore Wall Trail, and then we'll climb back up this backside of the mountain there to get to the lookout tower. So we'll keep moving here and see what we can find. We're 2.7 miles in, and we've got about 850 feet of elevation gain. So, like I say, we want to keep heading up the trail, and not sure how far. We may go all the way to the tower. Who knows? All right, folks, we are right here at the intersection of the Moore Wall Trail. I think I'm about an hour and a half in. It's gonna be a little over 3 miles, I think. It says 1.5 to the parking area and another 1.4 to the top of Moore Wall. Just for time's sake, I think I'm going to turn around and head back. That'll get me, let's see, it's going to be about 7 miles total, I think. Just turn around from here. It's just an out and back unless I take one of the side trails to add some time on, but probably just going to make it straight back. Good thing is I've knocked all the spider webs down. It's Friday morning. Right now it's about 10 o'clock. I have not seen the first person since the park ranger opened the gate this morning. So it's really nice and quiet this morning. But as the day goes along and this summer weekends, it'll fill up quick. So we ease back up and give you shots going downhill. Most of the way back now, thank goodness, is downhill. Get through this steep rocky section and it's just sort of a good cruise on back. So I'll jump back on in a few minutes. All right, hadn't filmed much on the way back down. Figured I'd grab a little section. This is one of the switchbacks through here. They got some railing up because of the wash and maybe slipping off that edge. I think it's a spring coming out there and keeps the trail wet in that spot. Making our way on down. So I finally ran into one person, young man with a camera. He found a imperial butterfly on the trail being, looked like it was being eaten by yellow jackets. But it's getting him some close-up shots. So finally saw somebody. in for the parking lot. It's a little power line walk. This is where I started. Basically, it goes down to the bottom of the hill, takes a left across the road, and almost done, but didn't really check the radar, but just run into this cloud. So fortunately, only a couple hundred yards back to the truck. I don't know if that's going to be rain or not, but I'll go ahead and give you the wrap up for today. Well, let me jump back on in a minute. I want to look at the mileage and elevation, and I'll get back with you. All right, got a little recap. Back to the truck. We got 5.77 miles and 1,001 feet of elevation gain according to the app. That's pretty good for this morning. Got to get back to town, grab my camping gear. I got a campsite booked for tonight and another hike planned for in the morning. So stay tuned for another video. I'll leave that location as a surprise to you tune in for next time. Anyway, that's a wrap for this morning. Thanks for watching.